completely different zip code. His dearest wish would be that he had. For God's sake, do I look like someone who cares what God thinks?
Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another movie review.
Yes.
This is the Gotham Gavel, and I'm Terry.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Gotham Cenobites. Today we are reviewing Hellraiser 4, or Hellraiser Bloodline.
Yes.
And that's where the box all began.
Yeah, the title says it all. Bloodline.
Yeah.
This is where it all began.
History of the box and main characters is Philippe Lemarchand.
Yep, Marchand. It's French.
And John Merchant. Then Dr. Merchant.
Yes.
all
The
all
Bloodline.
played by the same actor here in 3 different time periods.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Angelique. She's a main character. And then
She's pretty much the first
first
demon.
summoned by the box.
Yes.
And that's one thing that's probably the most prevalent out of all the movies, is where hell is referenced the most in this one. It's referred to as hell, and then the one scene where he says, you know, they're pretty much going to reign 1,000 years. So, I mean, it's the most hell has to do with one of these movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, Pinhead is in it a lot, so he's kind of a main character, and
Definitely.
everybody else is kind of a B character, so...
Yeah, I mean, there's that one actor who's...
Oh, the guy from Step Brothers. This is the first movie I saw him in, and we'll of course put Jacques up on the screen. But
Yeah.
so to start the movie recap, you're in space, and you're with Dr. Merchant, and you see him solving the box. A couple of futuristic, because you're in the year 2127.
Mm-hmm.
SEAL team busts in, stops him, and puts him in this cell, and they're interrogating him, and he pretty much tells the story of the movie until we get back to him at the end, where Philippe Lemarchand was commissioned to build a box.
Yeah, for yet again, for this aristocrat, this elitist, occultist. You might as well say all aristocrats are occultists at this point.
But he's commissioned to make a box with very specific requests. He finishes it, takes it to them. They summon their first demon with it, and he tells the main guy, the cultist guy, tells Jacques, summon demons yours to command unless you stand in hell's way. So it's told him to right there. The Marchand witnesses all this, tries to get back in to steal the box, and they kill him. But his wife's pregnant, so his bloodline survives.
Yeah, the wife comes to the house, and that's when he tells her, save the child. And so it just...
So then we fast forward to John Merchant in 96, and Angelique sees him in a magazine, tells Jacques, we gotta go get him, bloodline survived, and that's when he fucks up.
And what is that building that he built?
It's pretty much the building at the end of 3, where she
Yes.
puts the box in the concrete at the end of 3, and the box calls to his blood, because it's his bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
So the building we see at the end of 3 is the building in this movie. But Angelique sees him, tells Jacques they need to go get him because the bloodline survived. He kind of, I guess, for 200 years forgets the rules.
Can't stand in hell's
Stands
way.
in hell's way. So she kills him, goes to America, finds Merchant, punches through the cement, finds the box, which I've always said, even though it stated that she had many boxes made from that first design.
That's right. So that's where we
that's-
find out why there's so many
I
boxes.
think it's the original box, so that's where she knows
It
to
makes
go get
sense.
it. Has somebody solve it for her. That's where Pinhead comes through.
I can't wait to talk about him.
So, yeah, they're trying to get him to do this light thing, and of course he doesn't do it for them.
Yeah.
I don't think he has the technology
Exactly.
available to
Like
do it.
the original Marchant. He knew, but like so like throughout. I mean, there's no technology way back then, and then in '96, still not enough technology to create this.
Gotcha. So kind of double crosses them. Of course, he has a kid too. They kill him, but again, Bloodline survives, and John Merchant's wife somehow, like the women always do in these movies, the women always figure out how to use the boxes.
Oh, that's so true.
So she sends them all back, but John Merchant dies, but his kid survives. So
Yep.
Back to the Future at the end, and that Merchant. Everybody else in their little SEAL team dies, but so John Merchant at the end does escape in the movie with another B character, Rimmer, and this is the woman he's telling the whole story to in the movie.
Oh yeah.
They escape, but not before he pushes a button, and the space station in the movie turns into a box, and the light shit's going around it, and we're in the year 2127, so we do witness death of the box, death of Pinhead, probably the death of Leviathan realm itself.
Exactly. The whole dimension. It's all.
That's the way I take it, as it's all finito.
Right.
But it's in the year 2127.
So this story, you got the beginning and an actual ending.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the meat of the story.
Yes.
So, your likes and dislikes?
Likes, well, I don't want to talk about my rating, but, I liked Angelique. Pinhead, like I said, I was excited to talk about him because, like, every movie, the makeup just gets better and better. This is the best he's looked.
This was
he
the first...
looks like his statue that he has, I think, looks like this version of Pinhead that's in this movie.
It's the first movie where you see Big Gary Tonic Life in the credits.
Yes, yeah.
So, in the beginning credits.
And he looks fantastic. He looks
the best.
The best. It's not cakey. It looks...
Yeah, 3 was good, but
it was good.
It was cakey.
Right, and it looks, like you said, like the most like Doug Bradley in this one.
And you can see Doug shining through the most in this one.
Yeah, it was great. I really liked the storyline. I liked the whole beginning and the end. This is the first movie that I ever saw, like, a clip of Hellraiser when I was younger. And it was, like, the beginning.
They're summoning the demon.
They're summoning the demon. I was like, no, this isn't for me. I wasn't into that type of horror. I guess, oh gosh, I like the story, and I really like Pinhead, and I like Angelique.
I mean, it's probably my same likes. I mean, I like the fact that you get to see 3 different periods of history.
That's true.
Yeah,
yes.
The future is still up for debate, but I mean, it's 3 different.
Well, I like how you said, like, what was it, in '96? That's when everybody was making space movies.
Every horror movie,
right.
Every horror genre was like, we gotta get in space. But yeah. I've seen Leprechaun in space. I've seen Jason in space. I mean, I think this is the most well done horror movie that involves space. Of course, I'm biased.
That's true.
I mean, I really like the Cenobites too. I mean, Angelique at the end where she's all done up. The twins that they meet.
The twins were pretty cool. The Chatterbeast was really cool.
They meet these 2
he looked great.
security guards in '96, and he makes these 2 twins into the. Of course, we'll show them all on screen when we're talking about them.
Yeah, and they're like, we never want to be apart, always together. And he's like, oh yeah?
And then, of course, the Chatterbeast, which, until I had the toy, I just referred to him because I was a kid as Scruffy.
I remember that.
But yeah, they're all up there.
I remember you telling me you called him that.
Every Cenobite in this movie I have up there on that.
But the Chatterbeast in the movie looks really cool. Your toy looks a little... He's not a toy. Your figure looks a little odd.
That's a toy. Those are toys.
Okay, well, whatever.
But the Chatterbeast, if I can remember the paragraph, had a very interesting backstory too. Like it's a man, and he's been torn apart and tortured so much that now he resembles a dog.
What? When they were walking through that hallway, you see it looked like a husky's head. I assume that's what it was.
No, it definitely resembles a dog now, but it is a man who's been tortured and mangled in hell so much that now it resembles a dog. So
When you really get to the nitty gritty of these damn like Cenobites, it's really fucking sad.
I know, but then you get to some of the ones coming in the future, and it's like, yeah, fuck them, they deserve that shit.
I guess, yeah.
The bound female and the bound male.
Yeah.
They're child pedophiles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, fuck them.
I agree.
Anyways, that is a couple movies. And I think we see the female first and then the
You
male.
do see they are in the later movies?
They're both in the movies, but
Okay.
they're both not
We'll get to
toys.
that.
They're both not toys, but they're both in the movies. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, we talked about Cenobites.
Any dislikes?
Like I said, I'm biased. This is probably my favorite out of all of them so far. Dislikes.
I feel like all of these movies have or at least the last four, because I don't really remember a whole lot after this. In general, so I'm not even gonna go there because I don't. Anyways, each movie has a little bit of a like kind of a not a cringe, but kind of a cheese factor to it in the gore. But it was in '96 too, so.
Exactly. I mean, I think the prosthetic head when he cuts off his head is pretty good for may'S96.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't call that
like
a dislike. There's just a little like, oh, that's not, scary.
Every horror movie, I think, especially back then, they all have those moments where you're like, hey, if they had just fucking done this, then it wouldn't even happen.
Oh, what did we say in the movie that was like, the wife had, why did they leave her with the box?
I think it was...
I understand the
It was
storyline.
bait. They left her with it twice. The first time she tries to grab it, but I mean the Beast and Pinhead are in the room, but then they leave her in there with it again and she gets it. And sends them all back. Yeah. Fuck, I don't remember what the other one was.
That one really stood out. It was just like, yeah. Movie. I mean, I don't know. Just
okay, so what would you rate this one?
It was really good. Probably a 4.5 for me. I liked all the Cenobites in the last one. There was a lot less in this one, but the overall story was really good.
Yeah.
I liked the beginning and the ending.
I would
and the time periods.
probably say I agree with everything you said, but I've already said it's my favorite. So I think
Go with your favorite then.
this is probably the only one that's going to get a 5 from me.
Gotcha.
And they're all down. Well, it's all downhill from there. Hopefully, we'll be surprised with the new one. And I do think Hellraiser 5, Inferno, which is the next one, so far.
That was not bad.
Right now, I think these first 4, have something to do with Clive Barker. He directed the first one and executive produced 2, 3, and 4. Going forward, he's not involved. It's just based on his characters.
Mm-hmm.
So having said that, 5 is probably the best of those sequels. So 5 on, 5's the best. But so yeah, it's a 5. Hellraiser Bloodline is a 5 for me.
Yeah, 4.5 for me. Definitely recommend though. It's really, I like it. The space, yeah. Again, it's just not for a '96 film. You kind of, I'm sure it looked fantastic for that time.
Well, another thing I was telling her at the end is once the end starts, it kind of is over before you can think about it.
That's true.
And I was looking for a scene for the intro for this, and I ended up stumbling upon a deleted scene, and the ending is a lot different. You actually see Angelique, the twins, all suffering the same fate as Pinhead when it happens, and of course Dr. Merchant is still on the station and perishes with him.
Which I kind of like.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
there's no reason for him to survive.
Yeah, he has nobody. Yeah.
It's already stated by Pinhead that he's the last of the Bloodline, so
Yeah.
go out with a bang.
There you go.
So in the deleted scene, he's on the space station, kind of taunts him, and is right there in his face when it happens. So I'd probably prefer that.
I think so too. I did like in the what was it, director's cut or theatrical cut, whatever. the original cut, I guess. Not the original, but anyways,
The original
I
we
did
saw.
like when he said at the end of when he's like, merchant, whatever, said something about like he said Oblivion, and then Pinhead.
Well, he says it in the deleted scene too, but he's right in his face. But he says,
yeah, but when Pinhead turns and says Amen, I don't know. It was
Welcome to
so
Oblivion.
yeah.
And the trailer for it, Pinhead actually says "Welcome to Oblivion" in the trailer.
Oh.
So yeah.
Yeah. What was the rating for it on?
1,000 people on Amazon,
It was
and it
like
was
4.5
stars.
Yeah, so it was
We're
pretty.
right on par.
I agree. It's definitely the best. I don't want to say it's the best. Yeah,
So
I guess
far.
it's
So
the best
far.
so far.
So far.
Yeah.
And yeah.
There's certain things that I like more about other movies, but overall,
Yeah.
it's the best.
And in 5, we actually find out what the name of the box is. Like, we still haven't heard the name, but we hear it in 5 for sure.
There's a name for it?
It's the Lament configuration.
Why the hell wasn't that
Spoilers.
stated here?
Spoilers.
I mean, he made it.
Like I said in 2...
Why wouldn't you call it Merchant configuration?
Lament. Lament means regret. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's the Lament configuration.
Okay.
And it was probably... I don't know if it's in the books, because I haven't read them yet. But I just think it was... In 5 it's mentioned, and then it kind of just becomes the staple. So it's probably in the book.
Okay.
I don't know for sure.
That's the book we're supposed to read?
Well, I don't know if it's in the first one, but there's other books.
Oh.
There's other Hellraiser books.
I was about to say, I was like, that
I've
was a
heard the
tiny
final
book.
one is the Scarlet Gospel. I've heard it's really good.
Okay.
But so that will wrap up Hellraiser Bloodline. We will be back next week for 5, Hellraiser Inferno. It is going to be in the middle of a 10-day stretch for me, but we will still Friday night or Saturday night try to get it pumped out.
All right. Sounds good.
So we will see you then, and we have other videos planned. Probably record another one, but you'll see that hopefully this weekend. This will probably drop tonight or tomorrow. So thank you all for watching.
Thanks.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Court's adjourned.